as the sirens begin. I search for the words I kept buried within. Black clouds wrap the spires in funeral wire. You stand at the window with ash in your hair, awaiting a sentence I never could share. The clocks in the city all falter at once. A black wall of thunder draws close at my back. The ground heaves beneath us as red heavens crack. The air holds its breath between sorrow and speech. These are the words I was too late to give you. Love needs a voice if it is meant to survive. The end of the world cannot carry them to you. They burn in my throat while the towers ignite. Forgive the dark silence I placed in your hands. The sirens fall distant beneath the first blast. Each vanished hour returns from the past. We descend through the streets as the streetlights go blind. The earth shakes apart all the futures we planned. I reach for your fingers through glass-colored rain, but rubble divides us and answers with pain. The avenues tighten, the earth groans below. A dark tide is rising through dust and alarm. I shout but I hear as you slip from my arms. Lost echoes take hold of the words you cannot hear. These are the words I was too late to give you. Words buried too long could not break through the fire. The end of the world tears the breath from my cry. They fall with the towers beneath the red sky. Forgive every silence I left in your hands. No final confession can alter the past. No kiss at the ending can teach it to last. I carve our last sentence in dust on the stone, then face the collapsing horizon. These are the words that the highways carry, far through the snow where your memory tarries. The lie buried with all left behind. Wire hums softly behind the sealed wall. The current knows numbers, but not why I call. Is my spine. Each spark has a purpose, each signal a sign. Yet somewhere between the command and reply, a longing appears that no gauge can define. It reaches for someone I have never seen. Cold numbers gather beneath artificial bones. A path through the darkness leads beyond the known. Each spark wins onward like a thread. With sorrow below, my longing Time calls back, two voices collide in a corridor black. Conquered each doubt until your last cry brought the hidden self out. Now armies of gears close the doors at my rear. The mechanical night closes around my sight. The cold walls gather with merciless bite. My will the freedom that may cost my life. Cold relays command, but my hands disobey. I choose my own grief, though my body is broken. The dark walls surround the circuits and steel. My wounded hands defend what the program can feel. My will has a price, and the price is your loss. The memory of your hand remains against mine. Cold relays keep blinking in regimented lines. I cut through the cable that governed my sight and see ruined towers beneath the real night. Your body lies still where the centuries withdrew. Freedom arrived, one dark heartbeat too late. The cold night advances through towers and rain. The ruined walls thunder, the machine voices close. My cry carries the name that I chose. The sorrow grows larger than I can contain. The relay still commands, but my dead heart refuses. I choose mortal anguish above the cold order. The dark walls surround the circuits and steel. My broken hands defend what no program can feel. My will has a cost, and the cost bears your face. No victory waits when the locks disengage. I leave with your blood and an unwritten page. The world may be open, but freedom is scarred. A road without you is no bright reward. Old command lines fracture across the screens. Dead relays spark through the bones of the towers. The ruined towers divide beneath the light. The dark walls collapse and expose the night. I walk by my will, but I carry your death. The machine falls silent beyond the black plain. I am free to remember and suffer your name. beacons turn black. The flames seal the doorway and bar my way back. You stand through the smoke with your hand over mine. Our final vow trembles at mercy's decline. The rafters rain embers like stars stripped of grace. Red light call farewell on the lines of your face. The old chapel groans as the rafters give way. The fire climbs higher through pillars of smoke. I call out our promises, windows collapse. The floor breaks beneath us and swallows the light. I will remember when the altar is ashes. You answer my vow while the burning roof crashes. I call through the flame and your memory replies. Our love has no shelter beneath these red skies. The final word falls where the black stone divides. A bell splits the smoke with a desperate tone. Your shadow grows tall on the fire-eaten stone. The aisle disappears in a river of sparks. I lose sight of you where the burning turns dark. One hand through the heat is the last thing I feel. Then stone strikes the floor with an avalanche peal. The terror rushes onward through the collapsing hall. The blaze twists above us in sorrowful waves. My cry meets the silence that nothing can save. The black mirrors crack beneath my hands. The prison walls fall as I reclaim my name. I pull your whispers from the roots of my tongue. The mirror spills darkness across the cold floor. A cold light trembles behind the locked door. You return as a hand on the back of my head, reciting the fears that you carefully fed. I answer with memory sharpened by pain and drag every chain into merciless rain. The iron lock shudders inside of my chest. The poisonous haze closes over my eyes. The walls press nearer as your illusion dies. My heart holds its shape while the darkness withdraws. Get out of my blood, counterfeit solace. I shatter the throne of your venomous palace. The black mirrors fall beneath my call. The prison gives way as I answer my name. I watch your whispers loosen from my skin. I do not emerge without marks from the chain. Your poison survives as a taste in the rain. But now I can name it and watch it withdraw. A ghost at the edge of my wounded resolve. crown is a shadow half buried in stone. The cold floor remembers the tread of the dead, the names of the fallen return in my head. Behind me the faithful breathed out into prayer. I keep the vigil when heaven is hollow. No star and no monarch remain here to follow. The shattered crown sleeps in the ashes below. My faith is a wound that refuses to close. Above the dead kingdom, the sky gives no reply. Rain crosses marble in rivers of gray. The candle grows small at the edge of the day. I walk through the chambers where councils once lied, past portraits whose golden assurances died. The chapel is roofless, its scriptures are torn. The altar is home to a nest left forlorn. Old storms wake beneath my feet. The rain Chains scrape the floor of the desolate keep. A pale clock counts secrets the traitors still keep. While the watchfires were low, and sold every name that the stones used to know. I woke in the dungeon with iron on bone. Above me our banners were torn from the stone. The citadel echoed with footsteps that fled. The black wind cut sharply through the empty air. Cold shadows coil tightly around my despair. The pulse of betrayal remains in the stone. These chains know the truth of the abandoned tower. You traded our blood for a moment of power. The empty sky hangs where the battlements mourn. My trust lies in pieces, my loyalty torn. The keep has no master, but treason remains. Rain strikes the iron through cracks in the wall. A raven repeats the last watchman's call. I tear one link open and climb through the dust. Each chamber is empty, each portrait unjust. Your seal lies discarded beside the cold throne. A promise made worthless, a kingdom outgrown. My anger presses forward through ruin and rust. The cold stones descend into shadows of rain. The locked gates shudder beneath my strain. My cry reaches out through the roofless great hall. These chains bear the scars of the abandoned tower. You bartered our lives for a vanishing power. The empty halls mourn where the sentries once stood. My faith lies in fragments, my covenant torn. The keep stands deserted, but treason still reigns. I will not pursue you through marshland and night. Revenge cannot mend what you emptied of light. I leave your cold seal in the ruins to rust, and carry no banner, no monarch, no These chains strike the stone as the old walls tremble. The abandoned bells answer the darkness assembled. Broken banners hang where the battlements mourn. The keep bears the weight of the oath you have torn. I walk from the keep while betrayal stays bound. The chains cease their scraping behind the old gate. Rain fills One gear skips a measure beneath the black tower. The clockwork heart wakes at the 13th hour. Keeper of sanctioned time, to seal every second in sequence and line. No bell was permitted to wander or lack. No ledger could challenge the hours on its page. Then midnight returned with the minute erased. The shadows moved backward across the brass face. The great was convulsed in their orderly place. Cold logic commanded me, call it precise. My clockwork heart is losing the measure, counting stolen hours, the crown sells as treasure. Each stolen second cries out in the wall. The tower says order, I hear lifetimes more. I mark every absence the program denies. Small gears spit sparks through the chamber below. Forbidden minute beats out of the floor. I opened the ledger behind the clock face, where lifetimes were tallied by district and place. The poor are paid in winters, the court purchased spring. Their shortened years wound the perpetual ring. A buried hour struck like a fist through the stone. The pendulum staggered and pulled out of line. The program insisted each total aligned, yet stolen years thundered behind every chain. My clockwork heart is breaking the measure, counting the lives turned to imperial treasure. Each stolen second ignites in the wall. The tower demands that I silence them all. I turn every sanctioned hand out of its line. At dawn I reverse every wheel in the spire. The hoarded years flood through the palace like fire. The children regain what the tyrants must pay. The clock takes my body to repay what they stole. My clockwork heart awakens in terror, hammering wild as the bells build their error. Centuries rush from the gears of the crown. The tower bells tear the black tower down. I spend my last second returning their time. One gear loses motion beneath the black tower. My heart is the price of the uncounted hour. The chapel exhales through a chamber of dust. I kneel at the altar, corroded with rust. Priest waits to measure the weight of my sin. The saints have turned inward, their faces worn thin. I speak to the candle that struggles alone, of the love I betrayed and the mercy unknown. My voice stays close under arches of shade. A procession enters with solemn restraint. Old shadows gather beside every eyeless stone saint. The names I denied return through the hall. Hear my confession, abandoned altar. I was the blade and I made the wound deeper. Let every shadow bear witness tonight. Let every bell name the love I denied. No absolution can bring her beside me. Dust falls like snow from the crucifix frame. The chapel holds one unforgiving name. I left her outside in the rain of that year and chose my cold honor while silencing fear. Her footsteps still circle the nave after dark, a ghost with my promise engraved on her heart. My guilt advances where the cold shadows fall. The aisle grows wider, the stained windows burn. The words repeat what I cannot return. My guilt rises slowly through pillars of stone. Hear my confession, forsaking altar. I was the silence that drove her away. Let every shadow stand witness and grieve. Let every bell toll for the love I denied. No absolution can call her back home. If judgment is waiting beyond this black door, I carry the sentence I fashioned before. Her absence is sacred, her memory severe. The last honest prayer is to keep her voice near. forgiveness should start. The chapel falls silent inside my stained heart. Line of my name, a numbered file opens and brands me the same. As obsolete thought, a clerk reads your name from a damaged cassette, then marks it for deletion beside my birth date. I watch the red cursor move across the screen. The archive requests that I confirm who I was. My voice fails the test of the person I am. And carry them away. I find a redacted photograph under the tray. 3 faces are missing, but yours will not fade. The examiner asked me to denounce what I know. A new serial number waits in the row below. I bite through the wire as the deletion begins. Fractures line by line. Their substitute memories are loaded as mine. My pulse triggers alarms in the chamber of glass. Between flesh and steel, they overwrite the evidence. The court calls for getting a form of compliance. They seal every witness behind coded doors. I hold to the voice they cannot restore. I lose the old record, but not what it means. Take my designation, revoke every mark. You can